So.
What about your mom? Is there a story of your mom that you love that you remember?
I could, but I can't say it here. I was raised in Buffalo, New York in a single parent home. My mother raised me I didn't really know my father. I never met my father. I met my father one time, that was it. And then she raised me, and she's my hero. So, I mean, she's the one that instilled the values and stuff in me that for the person that I am today. So if you like me today, then you love my mother. That's what I always like to say. My mother passed away in 2020. So.
What about your mom? Is there a story of your mom that you love that you remember?
I could, but I can't say it here. No, I think it's kind of ironic that I'm a priest in the first place, because when I was getting ready to make my confirmation back in Buffalo, the priest came to my house to say that I was playing ice hockey at the time, and he said if I didn't make it to this class, because I had a hockey game that night, that I couldn't make my confirmation. And needless to say, my mother kicked the priest out of the house.
Oh my gosh!
and I didn't make the prayer, and I didn't make my confirmation that year. I always wanted to join the Marine Corps. I think while I was growing up, I always aspired to being a Marine, see the Marines and that like that. So as soon as I turned 18 years old, I went in the Marine Corps. Eventually I did 30 years in the Marine Corps, but after, my first 2 years in the Marine Corps, I got the calling to become a priest. And at that time, I got in contact with the Franciscan conventuals. And I discerned with them for 2 years. Then I got out of the Marine Corps. I entered the novitiate for the conventuals. And then I was there about 6 months, and I kind of realized that, hey, I didn't think this was for me. And then so I left the novitiate, and about 3 months later, I went back in the Marine Corps. And I spent the next 26 years in the Marine Corps. I was married and had 2 children, a boy and a girl. So very happy about that. But during that whole time in the Marine Corps, after I left, it never left me that I wanted to be a priest. In the Marine Corps, we're very limited on Catholic priests and chaplains. So when I was deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. I was a Eucharistic minister. So I would go to different FOBs and do services and give out the Eucharist at that time. And that was in the middle of Fallujah. I think that was the only time when I saw people who looked at me and wanted to kill me. So, I knew that if they had the opportunity that I would be killed. So seeing in that face of that evil and then being able to take the Eucharist to people is seeing a Christ figure there, and being able to participate in that and with these young kids in that who would come to Mass and that. And it was funny because one time we took a chaplain out there so he could have Mass at the different FOBs. And I guess we didn't know at the time, but someone took a shot at our convoy. And after that, they never let the chaplain go off base again. It was okay for me to go, but not the chaplain. I always wanted to be in the ministry. I always wanted to do, and I did things that would give me the opportunity. The people in the Marine Corps always knew that I wanted to be a priest, and they supported me in that too. So again, it just the discipline of doing what you're told, going where you're told, and all these different things helped me in the seminary very much. But being able to walk with the people in the good times and the bad, baptizing, funerals, all these different things that we walk with and journey to the people. And I think the support of the people too. The support is beautiful. It's a beautiful life. It's so fulfilling and everything. And you're never alone. You're never by yourself. You always have the flock that you're walking with and taking care of. And I think that's the most beautiful part of it, of being up there, celebrating the Eucharist, being the persona Christi. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And then, people calling you in their time of need, their deepest, because you never know what's going to walk through the door, or how you never can really plan out your day. It's always different. A sick call pops up, or someone needs something, or whatever, and we joke about never having a day off, but it's true, because people always need us in some way, shape, or form. I think being a warrior is we're all warriors. You know what I'm saying? We're all warriors for Christ. We tell people, take Christ out to the world. It's like, I always like saying what St. Francis says, is that we have to always preach the gospel, and if we have to, use words. And I always say that the most important thing that anybody can give anybody else, and it doesn't cost them anything, is their time. That's the best gift. During Christmas or whatever, you're trying to think of, what's the best gift I can give this? How much money can I spend and all that? You don't have to spend any money. Call somebody, spend some time, make them think that you're genuinely interested in them. I'm a big introvert. That's why I don't like doing these films. So I don't like being on camera. I spend my time with my dogs and building Legos and and watching some TV. So a lot of sports. I'm a big sports person. So I like to watch that. People are searching, but they have to know that they're searching for God. What's the meaning of their life? What do they want to do? They search for it through different alcohol, drugs, all these things, but it doesn't bring them happiness. It doesn't bring them satisfaction. So the only thing that truly satisfies us is God. I think because society has, there's no tradition, there's no nothing. Everything is okay, nothing's wrong in society today. And they're looking for that tradition, they're looking for that focus of how are we supposed to live our life. Because there's always tradition that we have, always some way of tradition that we have to live our lives. I think one of the beautiful things that I've heard Bishop Rojas said that he attributed to Cardinal George. He said, the world allows you to do everything, but it forgives you for nothing. The church allows you to do nothing, but forgives you for everything. And I think that's a beautiful statement of what our church is today. We accept everyone. And I think when people come there, they find a comfort, they find a welcoming, I hope, and they find a reason for their existence in our church.
That's good for me. Honestly, that's good for me. I'm just going to leave it there.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay?
Well said. Appreciate it very much.
Okay.
You're so natural. All right, pack it up, guys. We got to go now.